Government moves to clip Indigo wings. Flights on 115 routes slashed. First action after India held hostage. But will this much be enough? These are the routes which will be impacted.
In a fresh action against Indigo amidst the ongoing crisis, the Director General of Civil Aviation has instructed the airline to cut down its flight operations by 5% to ease passengers' troubles. This means around 115 flights daily. Now, this comes as the past few days have witnessed perhaps one of the worst aviation crises in the country, with Indigo cancelling thousands of flights, leaving a large number of passengers stranded across the country. The airports were choked with travellers and their luggage as the entire airline system tried to manage the unprecedented situation that only worsened. The DGCA has also asked Indigo to submit a revised winter schedule, taking into account all that has happened so far. Well, when this began brewing, the DGCA had given the airline temporary exemptions from night operations related changes. Now, officials say the regulator sought a revised schedule after Indigo failed to adhere to the approved winter plan and did not proactively disclose internal operations disruptions. The DGCA earlier asked Indigo to submit a compliance report within 30 days and keep updating the regulator every 15 days about the situation of flight operations. The regulator also issued show cause notices to Indigo CEO Peter Elbers and COO Isidre Porcaras, who is also the accountable manager, and asked for their response. This is what the aviation minister said in the Lok Sabha session, addressing the series of actions the DGCA has taken in order to take account of the Indigo crisis.
The government is determined to build a more robust and competitive aviation ecosystem. Through our policies, we are encouraging more new airlines to start and operate in India, ensuring fair access to airport capacity and eliminating any possibility of duopoly, controlling connectivity and pricing in our skies. More airlines mean more choice, more affordability, and more resilience for the passenger.
This 5% cut, according to sources, will affect Indigo's high demand and high frequency routes. These slots may be offered to other carriers if they have additional capacity that can be deployed. In all, Indian Airlines fly around 1,200 domestic routes, of which Indigo has over 950 routes in operation. Notably, though, nearly 600 or 63% of these are monopoly routes, and about 200 or 21% are duopoly routes, where Indigo has just one competitor. With these shocking figures, where this Indigo is not only catering to 6 out of 10 Indian passengers, it is also catering single-handedly in a monopoly to 63% of the total domestic routes with no competitor. The reduction in 115 flights will not affect the 600 monopoly routes, at least now, because they would affect Indigo's busiest routes. Let's in fact now discuss them. The busiest route for Indigo is the Delhi-Mumbai route. Indigo runs 615 flights daily on this route, 2.5 million passengers annually. This is the busiest route not only for Indigo but for the entire Indian commercial air transportation industry. Indigo carries more than 25 lakh passengers on this route. On December 10, 2025, Indigo is running 54 flights on this route, with the lowest fare being 4,700 rupees. During the meltdown, this route saw the most inflation in airfares, even reaching a staggering 50,000 rupees for economy class. The second busiest is the Bengaluru-Delhi route, and the third busiest is the Mumbai-Bengaluru route. On these routes combined, Indigo offers 465 flights on each sector. These two are considered premium heavy routes, and Indigo faces stiff competition from other airlines, particularly Air India, which has 536 and 344 flights between Delhi and Bengaluru, and Mumbai and Bengaluru, respectively. Indigo flies a total of 3.5 million Indian passengers annually, which equals to 43% passenger market share. This figure makes it the number one route for Indigo in terms of passenger share. On the Bengaluru-Delhi route, Indigo is running 66 flights as on December 10, 2025, and on the Bengaluru-Mumbai route, it's running 51 flights. The Delhi-Bengaluru route is also one of the two routes that currently has Indigo planes with business class seats called Indigo Stretch. The fourth is Hyderabad-Delhi. Indigo has 353 flights between New Delhi and Hyderabad, 300 of which are on the A321. This is the fifth largest route in terms of share of passengers that Indigo flies. As on the 10th of December 2025, Indigo has scheduled 39 flights on this route. The lowest fare of this route is 12,800 rupees. The fifth busiest in terms of number of flights and fourth busiest in terms of share of passengers is the Kolkata-Delhi route. Indigo operates 340 flights on this route. This is also one of those routes where Indigo does not have a monopoly, as Air India offers 341 flights between the two cities this month. split between its A320 Neos and A321 aircrafts. Kolkata is running 39 flights on this route right now with an average fare of 8,200 rupees. The reduction by 5% in daily flights would most likely affect these busy routes where Indigo has a mass passenger market share of more than 40%. Indigo's monopoly on a significant number of routes and the duopoly in India's airline sector is not by design, and much of it can be attributed to the failure of other domestic airlines to compete effectively and even survive. Many have gone under the past couple of decades, Go First and Jet Airways being the biggest examples over the past few years. To that extent, it can be argued that the presence of a dominant airline means that many routes which would otherwise shut down are in operation. And until this crisis broke, Indigo had established benchmarks for operational efficiency and an unblemished safety record in India's otherwise checkered aviation scene. While large, strong and stable companies are desirable in every sector for efficiency, stability and competitiveness, it gets problematic if their share of the market expands to such an extent that it smothers other players and creates high entry barriers. Let's try to assess the loss that Indigo will have to bear from these cancellations of approximately 115 flights. First, we need to assume these values. 115 flights cancelled per day. The aircraft that Indigo uses are A320 or A321, which are typically 150-seat aircrafts. Assuming that there is 80% load factor, 120 passengers travel from these aircrafts, the average fare per passenger is 5,500. Now with that calculation, 13,800 passengers per day and the revenue loss per day of 7.59 crore rupees. For a month, the loss figure would be 228 crore rupees. For financial year 2023-24, Indigo recorded consolidated revenue of 71,231 crore rupees, using the baseline 71,231 crores annual revenue. The annual loss of revenue then would be around 3.9%. According to the winter schedule, Indigo had 15,014 weekly departures, but this number will now be revised after this 5% cut.
Our earlier communications, today I'm here to share that your airline, Indigo, is back on its feet and our operations are stable. We've let you down when a major operational disruption happened, and we're sorry for that. The beauty of air travel is that it brings together people, emotions, ambitions and aspiration. And we know that you were traveling for various reasons. Thousands of you could not travel, and we are profusely apologetic about that.
The cut of 115 daily Indigo flights is more than a short-term fix. It's a signal. The government and DGCA are making it clear that no airline, not even India's largest, can operate beyond regulatory balance or safety norms. With Indigo commanding nearly 60% of the market, the centre's broader push to cap dominance is about consumer welfare. When one player grows too large, fares rise, choices shrink and passengers suffer. This reduction in 115 flights, the government argues, is aimed at restoring competition and ensuring a fairer, more stable aviation ecosystem for travellers.
Government moves to clip Indigo wings. Flights on 115 routes slashed. First action after India held hostage. But will this much be enough? These are the routes which will be impacted.